Alex Palou, starting on the second row, has a massive lead in the championship, and keep in mind, there's almost a quarter of the season to go. The top 4 are all in the top 9 today. Will they make it through turn 1? Will this be the first win for AJ Foyt Racing in over a decade? Santino Ferrucci leading the field to green. Let's go from Portland, and what a run for Will Power coming down into turn 1.
It was an early jump from Ferrucci. That gave Power the draft, but he's trying to hold it on the outside, side by side, and one Power is going to take it around the outside of 2.
I thought Ferrucci touched right front to left rear of Will Power. It looks like he comes away unscathed, but Will Power being bold and decisive into the first corner.
That yellow and red car is the championship leader, Alex Palou in third. The green and black, Romain Grosjean, who has not won in more than a decade. 2, he is in play today.
He's made a great start, up from 6th on the grid to 4th. And we see some moves now. That's on to Dixon into turn 7. Is that Kirkwood? We've seen this before, Townsend. Drivers getting pushed wide on the exit there. Dixon falling like a rock.
Massive penalty.
Contact.
This will be a big hit.
Dixon hard into the wall. One of the championship contenders is out and done.
Not sure who clipped Dixon, but it ripped the steering wheel out of his hand, if not broke the steering arm. And it's good to hear.
Yeah, fine, man. The 27, fuck, man. The other two just waste.
27 is Kyle Kirkwood. I'm sure Pietro had no idea that that elevation was going to bounce him into Dixon. Race control will probably review that closely.
I think they're going to see it as probably a racing incident. And here's the thing, if he's a few inches further to driver's right, you don't line up the center of the tub on that curb. He probably gets away without getting the front end up in the air.
I don't agree with you, James. I think this is avoidable contact. Even if Pietro didn't know that the curb would do that, he's still the one initiating the move. He absolutely takes out Dixon. Dixon, a totally innocent victim in that situation.
Headed back toward the chicane, this time single file.
How aggressive is Romain Grosjean with the championship leader, but further back, Newgarden getting defensive with Kirkwood there.
Kirkwood trying to make moves after that engine penalty, knocked him down a bunch of spots in qualifying. Both of those drivers on those softer red sidewalled Firestones.
And Pietro Fittipaldi is getting an avoidable contact penalty, so he will have to give up his great position, 13th, and do the drive-through.
Yeah, I struggle with that one a little bit because it's not avoidable. His wheels were off the ground. There's not a whole lot he could do. He's got a point. He's got momentum on Dixon, but look, doesn't matter what we think.
Penalty issued. I agree with race control. He could have probably stayed a little further right.
Let's look back and see the move from the 45 of the Hy-V Honda with Christian Lundgaard not making it through the chicane, but following the proper path, so he's going to lose a lot of positions, but no penalty.
Yeah, looks like he snuck in there behind Rinus VK when it was all said and done, and Graham Rahal got around him as well, so that's down to 12th place for Christian Lundgaard. He did say, and we talked about how hanging on for a stint was going to be tough, and man, he's still got a long way to go before realistically you want to pit. If these track temps keep going up and we see the Reds falling apart.
Yeah, but at lap 20 here, Kirkwood could dive in and then give himself 30-30-30 to finish in terms of stints. So he's in that window, and Pato O'Ward is doing exactly that right now. I think this tells the field that this is a black tire race down the stretch.
Because another one of those 30-lap stints was going to have to be on a set of reds. So, Dylan, as the 5 comes to you, let's look and see what they put on.
They are going to go to blacks, and this theory tracks with what you guys just talked about. Will Anderson, the engineer, said if the reds are struggling, we can pit about lap 17 and do blacks to the end if we wanted it to. I think that may be their plan here. That's what Pato goes to.
As Alex Palou cut into that gap just a little bit. Just over a half a second, maybe 3-4 car lengths. And the DHL Honda behind Will Power in the Verizon Chevy.
These two have opened a healthy gap.
Oh, contact down in turn 1, seemingly, at least a car backwards, as Pietro Fittipaldi and Connor Daly get together.
And guys, I don't think Pietro did the proper route through the chicanes in the runoff of the chicane, the barriers that race control puts up. Let's take a look at what happened here.
So Fittipaldi comes to the inside looking for the overtake. Is he there enough?
And to James's point, we'll get to that in a second, Pietro was supposed to make a hard left.
No, It's right front to left rear, fully locked up. What you're going to see from race control's point is the car that was making the pass has more responsibility. He came in out of control with a brake locked and took out another car. So bad break for Connor Daly.
More than likely, that'll be a second drive-through penalty for Pietro Fittipaldi. Fittipaldi comes out right in front of the leader, Will Power. How does he handle this situation? Power laying down big black marks as he struggles to get the Power down. Power's got to be patient right here. Don't force this.
Through 4, 5, 6, there is going to be an opportunity coming up on the backstretch. It's allowing Palou to get a little bit closer, within a half a car length or so. And Palou is going to take a look around the outside. Maybe try to do the switchback here. Traffic could impact things. Palou on the charge. Pressure coming. Championship contenders and the leader right there in that yellow car trying to move to the lead of this race.
Both drivers on the push to pass, but as Palou pulls out, Power stays in line with the 30, so he's able to get that draft. Palou can't get a run as the 30 pulls off to serve another drive-through penalty for avoidable contact, but race on at the front.
And that is a huge benefit to Will Power. He would have had to deal with that even longer. And now Alex Palou, as he almost always does, goes longer. Will he jump Will Power in the pit exchange? First we see the stop, Dylan.
And they wanted to wait just to make sure they could try to get some clean air on that in-lap. Palou is asking for a little bit of a front wing change as they'll start this second stint with primary tires as well. There's the wing change waiting on fuel. Palou's release. Let's watch the blend.
That was not a great stop, Dylan. 9.2 seconds for Alex Palou as Power comes down the front straight.
Headed down towards the chicane, and Power is going to maintain the advantage.
Easily gets it done. I think you called it there, Townsend. That stop a little bit slow. There you go, Ferrucci on the inside of Herta into 4.
That's a big move.
That's a huge move.
Did Herta make a mistake that opened up the door for Santino Ferrucci? Let's look.
So that's the lap car, I believe, of Connor Daly. Oh no, gets forced out. Oh no, that's Grosjean. He's going for the move on Grosjean. I apologize.
He was trying to go around Romain Grosjean. Let's watch again on board. The Gamebridge on board with Herta. Is there contact? There is.
So who was that in front coming out? Was Newgarden.
Is that Newgarden out of the pits?
Newgarden out of the pits. He's slow. Grosjean must have missed a shift or something.
Does Grosjean know there's a car with Colton Herta even to his outside?
I'd be surprised. You're looking down at your wheel. You're panicking, trying to get that thing rolling again. That's not really a too wide part of the racetrack.
Either way, look who is right on the tail of his season-long nemesis, Santino Ferrucci, on the hunt.
So the other leaders could go another 10, 12 laps if they wanted to, if the Firestones will last.
And if they want to risk the danger zone. This Kirkwood pit stop right here puts the field a little bit on notice as Toby Sowery, the rookie, trying to go around the outside.
This is not what Kirkwood needs. He wants that fresh air, that clean racetrack that he can see in front of him. If Sowery gets around, it's going to kill that, but it's going to be a big dive into 7. Who's going to blink?
Remember what he did to Scott Dixon earlier in the race. Sowery backs off, tries to do the cross-up. Kirkwood's going to defend aggressively, I think, right here.
He's giving the inside to the 51. There's a lot of marbles off track already, but he's got the preferred line. It might be advantage Toby into the chicane. That is bad for Kyle Kirkwood.
Well done by the 28-year-old rookie from the UK in his 3rd IndyCar weekend. He's 1 year before in Indy Lights back in 2019. He's just been waiting for an opportunity.
Getting wide in 11 and taking that drag strip runoff. Here's a replay.
Oh boy, what a save.
Great job to then hang it to the left to get around the firewall.
And we have a blocking penalty called on Kyle Kirkwood. He is going to give up 2 positions.
Oh, yeah. Fair call there. That is in reaction to absolutely.
See him on the overtake. He's on the hybrid being depleted. That's the little displays on the left and right-hand side of the cockpit. He's got a great run. Toby defends to the inside. He's going to try to hang it on the outside.
Oh!
Big commitment from Siegel. He goes off. He goes way off.
but he's able to make the corner. But look at how slow he has to navigate the grass as he's still turning right.
And dragging dirt and debris onto the race line, onto the racetrack. Anyone behind's now got to be a little bit cautious.
So impressed with the racecraft from Toby Sowery today. Good, clean, hard racing.
Grosjean.
As Romain Grosjean is stalled.
What?
And backwards. Did he get help?
Brutal result after a great run going. These hybrid systems should technically allow you to restart, and that was, he had it running.
He got that left rear kicker as he is able to restart his car. It comes right in front of Christian Rasmussen.
That was lazy. That was foolish to not look in your mirror and know what was coming when you're turning. He just did it again.
Just about got Toby Sowery there, I think.
Got the flat. He didn't get hit. He drove straight into the 20. That's the wrong way of wording that one. And oh no, left rear down. It's going to be a long lap to get it around.
Long trip.
There was a problem with the MCU.
That was.
What happened when I got the MCU?
I'll tell you what happened. You lost
Sloppy.
control with the left rear getting that kicker off the turn 1 apex, and to your point, just drove right across the race running traffic.
There's so much tarmac down there in turn 1 to make that spin around. He could have even gone the other direction. Let's take a look again. So he spins around and then just drives straight for the racing line.
What is that all about?
He should be nowhere near that curve. That's
totally agree.
100% on the 77. I feel bad for Rasmussen. I hope there's no damage on the front of the 20.
Grosjean is serving a drive-through for, I believe the wording is unsafe conduct, as we saw a little bit ago, and that seems worded properly.
It's a nice way to put it.
Second in the championship coming into the day. Points as they run. He is third. Final stop, Georgia.
Trying to make up as most points as he can on Alex Palou. He was asked by Rob Edwards if he wanted any changes. No changes to the wing. Fresh reds on Colton Herta. He's down.
Stalled.
Oh, he stalled it. Colton Herta is stalled. There he is.
A critical 5 or 6 seconds that will take him out of play.
Best stop of the leaders, though, a 6.0 for Alex Palou, but it still won't be enough as Will Power fires right by.
Power is gone by multiple car lengths, but big for Alex Palou that he is, for the moment, going to avoid some traffic, but he's got cold Firestones. Can he hold on to the track position?
And big tire advantage to Will Power on those sticker reds. He's going to be able to just stretch this lead, barring any issues or yellows.
To let the 30 go by.
So there is a penalty, and they are going to ask him to give up a spot. Unapproved.
Keep our position.
Yeah, but Pietro Fittipaldi's not for position, so this is sort of a time advantage, I guess. Why would you have to let a car that's a lap down by?
Yeah, it's just simply, as you said, lose some time there, and they're estimating
Is it?
they lost, I would guess.
No, because they just said let the 30 by. That sounds like that's a strange penalty, probably one that might not exist in terms of precedent, James. Like, how do they deal with it? Maybe it's just a position on track regardless if it's a car that's a lap down.
Well, Armstrong's now right on his gearbox, so it might end up being a position inadvertently.
But she knows her husband is firmly in control right now with just a lap and a half to go.
Well, it's wonderful, first of all, to see Liz feeling good back at the racetrack. She went through some very well-documented health issues at the beginning of last season, and that had a lot to do with Will Power not having a good season. He could not focus on the job. He was taking care of his wife. He thought about retiring. He wondered, is this right? We have a young son. Should I be risking my health when it's uncertain about my wife's health? White flag, one more to go for Will Power.
White flag for a guy who just a week ago on a Saturday night in St. Louis was absolutely furious, losing his mind on pit lane at what happened on that restart. And today couldn't contrast more, James, in terms of the kind of serene day that Will Power has had. Start to finish, it's been smooth, it's been perfect, and it's been dominant.
2 wins on the season already. He'll be the first driver to clock up a 3rd victory in 2024. And with that, even though championship leader Palou is right behind him, he closes the gap. He keeps the championship fight alive, and it is just great to see from Power.
Scott McLaughlin in his win 2 years ago led 104 laps in a dominating win. About as close for Will Power. 101 laps led. He went 2 years without a win. Now in 2 months, Will Power has won 3 times. Power wins at Portland to keep his championship hopes alive.
Way to execute, buddy. Nice job. Nice job, everybody.
Nice job, guys. Things a little more interesting.
Hi folks, Lee Diffie from NBC Sports here. If you truly enjoyed what you just watched, you can get more news, interviews, and highlights by subscribing to the Motorsports on NBC YouTube page. You can get it all, so go for it.